All right, one of the most important aspects in printmaking is the cleanup. And it's something that no one likes to do, right? But if you put it off, then it becomes it can become a really difficult thing to complete. There are just a few things that I'm going to suggest that you find that will help speed up the cleanup here. I'm going to be using an old phone book and an old membership card to help clean my palette, the color palette. And then I'm just going to be using some wet wipes to clean the surface. Now I'm using Caligo Safe Wash inks, so that makes it a lot easier to clean up. But even if you're using a traditional oil-based ink, you can get so much of this cleaned off with a palette knife, with a scraper, a little bit of vegetable oil, and then like a soapy water cleanup afterwards. And then you don't have to bring in harmful chemicals into your shop, into your home studio. To get started, I've got my palette here. I've got my palette knives here that I'm going to clean up. I have a phone book. I've got a paper towel, dry paper towel, and I have a wet wipe right here. So the first thing that we're going to do is just clean off the palette knives and get them out of the way. So just by cleaning off all of the edges here, like that. When you're cleaning off a palette knife, they're pretty easy to clean off. You just have to remember that these sides also hold ink, and so you want to make sure that you clean all the sides off of your palette knife, all of the edges, so that you don't have leftover ink. You know, if you were mixing a yellow and you had this really beautiful yellow and you picked up a palette knife that had some old red ink on it and you got that red ink into your yellow, it would not be great. So you'd end up having to start all over. So you want to make sure that you get all of those edges cleaned off, and then I can get these palette knives out of the way. There we go. Clean those out. Then the next step is to just use my my credit card here, this membership card, and just pull as much ink off of the palette as you can. And you can see these work really well. I'm going to, since that one is all used up, I'm just going to fold that over, get out of the way so that I don't have to worry about it, and then do a little more cleanup here. Now I've been using the wide edge, and I'm going to use the skinny edge, or the narrow edge, I guess, just to get a couple of these problem spots out of the way. Okay, there we go. And that's it. So then when I'm all done with that, then I can just give this card a wash and use it for later. Get out of the way. Now the next step here is just to wipe this down, and you can use water because it's a safe wash. A little bit of soap and water will do that. You know, I've been hoarding wet wipes throughout the pandemic, at the beginning of the pandemic, and since we don't need them anymore, this is what I'm using it. How I'm using all of that, all of those supplies that I have. It's wet and it just wipes down really easily. Want to make sure that when you're wiping this down, you also wipe down the edges of your palette, because there could be some ink that's hiding out there. Give it one last wipe down and make sure it's clean. Then the next step on this would be to go over it with a little bit of glass cleaner just to make sure that it's clean.